My name is Kenza Johnson. I'm 21 years old. I'll be 22 next month. I am pregnant with my second child. My first child's name is Micah. He's 11 and a half months. Um, right now, I'm not quite sure how far along I am, but just a small synopsis of what's been going on for the past few months, or several months rather. Me and my husband have been trying to conceive for about 9 months total, and nothing was coming out the way that we wanted it to be. Um, a large portion came from the fact that I wasn't having my period at the point I had just, I guess, had my baby. And we wanted to have all of our kids all at one time while I'm in school online and I have the time to be at home. I am in business school right now, so it's not too much of a burden for me to have my kids now. Anyhow, at around 6 months, whenever my son was 6 months, I called my OBGYN and I told her, I was like, look, I'm not having my period. And she's like, okay, well, I'm going to prescribe you on something called Provera, which is a combination of progesterone and estrogen to help my period come down. Well, and she told me that once my period came down, that I could call her. So my period came down, I called her, and she's like, okay, we're going to prescribe you to your normal birth control, which is orthotracycline, and we're going to put you on that for 2 months so your period can be regulated. And I know that if you have your period if you are on birth control for 3 months, your body's actually cycling it, and it's depending on it, and it becomes an actual part of your body. And it can take up to 6 months to have it cycle out of your body, which would really suck. I mean, we're trying to have a baby. So to be really careful. Anyhow, I got my period. I got one in March. I got one in May. I got one in June. Now, the one in June in particular came especially late. It was like 3 weeks, and I thought that was kind of, peculiar that happened, but, whatever. About a week later, after I had my period, that was like around June 29th to the 30th or something like that, I noticed that I had this stretchy discharge, the clear stretchy discharge, which is a sign that you're ovulating at that moment. And, I didn't freak out too much. I didn't, go rush my husband into bed or anything like that. But, I just let nature take its course. And I was just like, well, and plus that was the first time I'd seen it in like a really long time. I was pregnant for 9 months, and then I had my son, and then I went through all that crap again. But anyhow, so I waited about a month after my last period, which would have been late, but, since my period doesn't usually come on the 21st, it usually comes within the first week of the month. That didn't happen, so I ignored that, so I waited till the 21st of July, still didn't have my period. That day, I had watched Knocked Up for the first time, and, it got me all excited, and I took a pregnancy test. It was a clear blue digital, and I took it, and it was negative. And at that point, I was, like, really upset, really, really, really upset about it, because I was tired of taking pregnancy tests. I was tired of the emotional roller coaster that I was putting myself on. And as stupid as that sounds, I know that much was up to me. I was getting all my hopes up and everything, hoping that I want a baby. But at the same time, I was trying to calm myself down so I wouldn't be too upset if it came out negative. But that never worked. I don't care what strategy I tried. It never worked. I was upset every time I saw that negative pregnancy test. And this time, I was so pissed off. I didn't want to hear the word pregnant anymore. I didn't want to see any more pregnant women. I didn't want to watch that crap on TLC or Discovery Health anymore. I just wanted to just stop it all because I was just so sick of it. And I was just like, whatever. Screw it. And I knew that I could still possibly be been pregnant, because I still had like another month, not another month, but a couple more weeks before I could check to see if I'm actually pregnant, and maybe I took the pregnancy test a little bit earlier. So I talked to my husband about it, and he was just like, well, at this point I was trying to lose, my baby weight from my last pregnancy. At the same time, all this is going on, so this was like really, really stressing me out. I had a lot of stuff on me. But I took another pregnancy test a week later after that, and it came out positive. And this pregnancy test, I think I took our first response, and the line was like very, 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 very faint. And I talked to my husband, and I was just like, I think I'm pregnant, but I don't really know. So I took another one the next morning, and it came out a little bit darker. And, I still wasn't able to rest, and I didn't like that feeling of getting excited about being pregnant, and you go to the doctor's office and like, no, you're not pregnant, honey, that kind of thing. So, anyhow, about 2 or 3 days later, I took the Clear Blue. It wasn't the digital this time because I figured that maybe the digital pregnancy test wasn't as sensitive as the one with the line, with the little cross teething on it. I figured you had to be like maybe 6 weeks before pregnancy test, for the digital ones rather, to tell you that you were pregnant, and I didn't want to have to go through all of that again. So I took the Clear Blue with the cross, and that came out positive. That one was very, very clear that I was pregnant. At that point, I wasn't happy, but I was just kind of at ease that now I actually knew what was going on. So I called my OBGYN, and I told her, and I was like, I told her I had a positive pregnancy test. I made an appointment for that Monday, which was this past Monday. Went to that appointment, and she gave me an estimation of where I might be along in my pregnancy, and she told me I was about 7 weeks, 2 days. And, I was expecting maybe 6 weeks because, after seeing the discharge, I pay a lot of attention to my body, so I think I would know that. Anyhow, she told me that I was about 7 weeks, 2 days, and then she checked my pelvis and my uterus, and she said I felt about 8 weeks. I thought that was kind of weird, but, she's like, okay, we're going to get you an ultrasound just to make sure that we're where you want you to be, or, we just want to get something, get it verified. And I was like, okay, so I went and took a vaginal ultrasound, and the embryo was too small for them to even get an estimation of where I was in my pregnancy. And that really, really, really had me upset for some reason. Even though I was pregnant, it's just, I felt like I was going backwards. And I called my husband, and I told him what happened, and he was just like, what's wrong? You're supposed to be happy. And I was just like, I'm not happy for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's the hormones. I don't know. I think I'm crazy. But, so she told me I looked like I was about 5 weeks, but I'm hoping that I was 5 weeks, almost 6 weeks, because then that would make a lot more sense of, where I was as far as my pregnancy. So I talked to my OBGYN again, and she told me that she wanted me to come back in 2 weeks so she can get a proper date set up for my due date and to see where I was in my pregnancy. So hopefully for my next appointment, which is not Monday coming, but the next Monday at 10:45, hopefully I'll be about 7.5 weeks, almost 8 weeks or something like that. And hopefully, I could find out. And that's the really exciting part, when you get something definite, and, I'll feel a lot better about myself when that happens. Currently, I'm taking samples of the prenatal vitamins. I started off with Tandem. That one was really good. I like that one. I'm on my 4th day on it, and it really kept me stable all day. I wasn't feeling nauseous at all. I can eat whatever I wanted. It made me sick. I really like that one. But anyhow, that's what's been going on with me, and I'll follow up with you guys. Talk to you soon.